Hello and welcome back. I'm Emily. I hope you're having a calm moment right now. Maybe you're walking outside, maybe you're holding a warm drink, or maybe you're lying on your bed listening quietly. If that's you, that sounds nice.
And I'm Paul. I always imagine someone listening while making coffee in the morning. One hand holding the mug, one eye still sleepy. I do the same. It feels real.
Me too. And if you're listening while making coffee, good morning, or good evening, or good midnight practice. I understand that moment very well.
Actually, speaking of coffee, Emily, can I ask you something?
Sure, what's up?
When did coffee become so complicated?
Oh, I know that feeling already. What happened?
I went to a new cafe last weekend. The menu, Emily, I honestly stood there for 2 minutes just reading words I did not understand.
Like the prices?
No, the words. There was no coffee on the menu. It said things like single origin pour over, oat milk cortado, cold brew with notes of chocolate. Notes of chocolate? It's coffee, not a music class.
I understand. You're standing there thinking, where is the normal coffee? I do the same sometimes.
Exactly. So I said, "Can I just have a regular coffee?" And the barista looked at me like I asked for water from the moon.
Oh no. What happened next?
He said, "Do you mean filter drip or Americano?" And I said, "The one that tastes like coffee." I was so lost.
That sounds nice. I mean, the story sounds nice. Your confusion does not.
But here's the funny part. I actually like fancy cafes.
Wait, you do?
Yes, I enjoy trying new things. I just never know what I'm trying. Like once, I ordered something called a cortado, only because the name sounded cool.
Did you know what it was?
Not at all. I just trusted the name. It felt fancy.
So you choose your coffee by the name? That's amazing.
Maybe, but honestly, it tasted good. I still can't tell you what was in it, though.
I'm the opposite. I want simple coffee. No special names, no notes of anything, just coffee.
Just brown liquid in a cup.
Yes, brown, hot, maybe a little milk, done. Perfect. Why does it need a story?
Because it's not just coffee anymore, Emily. It's an experience.
Paul, it's a drink.
Okay, but you must admit, coffee culture has become a big thing everywhere.
That's actually true, and that's what we are talking about today. Not how to order coffee, but the whole culture around it, why it became such a big part of daily life, and of course, some useful English you can use in coffee conversations.
Yes, stay with us. We have some fun phrases later that you can use this week. I'm excited.
But first, if you enjoy learning with us, feel free to like this episode and subscribe to Miss English channel, only if you want to. A soft reminder.
I do the same when I learn from people online. A small click helps a lot.
Okay, Paul, tell me honestly, simple coffee or fancy coffee? Where do you stand?
Honestly, I like fancy cafes. The lights, the music, the design.
And the Instagram photos?
Maybe a little, but I also enjoy trying different types of coffee. There's a cafe near my house with a cold brew that takes 12 hours to make.
12 hours? Paul, I can make coffee in 3 minutes.
I know, but cold brew is made with cold water and time, no heat. I understand how it works, I just don't understand why.
Same. 3 minutes, hot water, finished.
But the taste is different.
Honestly, all coffee tastes like coffee to me.
Some people need time to enjoy certain flavors. It's an acquired taste.
What do you mean?
An acquired taste is something you don't like the first time, but you like it after trying it again and again, like dark chocolate.
Or black coffee.
Exactly. Most people don't enjoy black coffee at first.
I still don't enjoy black coffee.
Maybe you haven't acquired it yet.
And maybe I never will.
Give me milk and sugar and I'm happy.
Okay, Paul, I have a question for our listeners. Are you a simple coffee person or a fancy coffee person? I'm really curious.
Me too. And no judgment, I understand both sides. I do the same sometimes. Some days I want simple coffee, some days I want something dramatic.
Speaking of dramatic, my relationship with coffee is a little complicated.
Complicated? How? That sounds nice. Tell me.
Well, no, I love it, but I also need it, and that's different.
I understand. What do you mean, though?
Like yesterday, I didn't have coffee in the morning because I was late, and by noon I had a headache, I was tired, I was grumpy, and I almost fell asleep at my desk.
Oh no, you were like a sleepy zombie.
Exactly. A slow, unhappy zombie.
I shouldn't laugh, but I do the same. It's because of caffeine. Caffeine makes you feel awake and alert.
And when you don't have it, your body gets angry.
Yes, your body gets used to it, and when it's missing, everything feels terrible.
That's me. Every time I skip my morning cup, I wait for the caffeine to kick in so I can feel human again.
Good phrase, kick in. It means the moment the effect starts to work. After you drink coffee, maybe 20 minutes later, the caffeine kicks in, and suddenly you're awake.
It's like a light switch. Before coffee, slow and gray. After coffee, color returns to the world.
Birds are singing, life is beautiful, everything is possible.
Okay, that's a little dramatic.
I'm being honest.
Have you ever thought about cutting back on coffee?
Cutting back on?
Yes, to cut back on something means to have less of it, like I'm cutting back on sugar.
Ah, okay. So, have I thought about cutting back on coffee? Yes. Have I done it? Absolutely not.
At least you're honest.
I tried once. I lasted 2 days. The headaches were not fun.
What about decaf? Decaf is coffee without caffeine. It tastes similar, but it doesn't wake you up.
Emily, decaf is not real coffee. That's like a concert with no music.
What's the point, right?
Exactly. What's the point?
But some people like it.
Some people also like waking up at 4 a.m. I don't understand those people either.
Fair enough. So how many cups do you drink per day?
3. Sometimes 4.
4? Don't look at me like that. What about you?
2, maximum.
How do you survive on 2 cups?
I drink tea in the afternoon. It's a lighter pick-me-up.
Nice phrase. A pick-me-up is something that gives you energy when you feel tired. Coffee is a pick-me-up. Tea is a pick-me-up. Even a short walk can be a pick-me-up.
So it doesn't have to be a drink.
Exactly. Anything that lifts your energy.
That's useful. But my pick-me-up is always coffee. Surprise, surprise. Same. And what about everyone listening right now? How many cups of coffee do you drink per day? I'm curious.
Okay, now let's talk about something interesting. Coffee isn't just a drink anymore, right? It's also social.
Very social. Think about it. When you want to meet someone, what do you say?
Hey, let's grab a coffee.
Do you actually care about the coffee?
Not really. I care about the person.
Exactly. Coffee is just the excuse. The real thing is the conversation and the connection.
There's a phrase for that. Catch up. When you meet someone to talk about life, you catch up with them.
Yes, like I haven't seen Maria in months. We need to catch up. Or let's catch up over coffee this weekend.
It sounds natural, and the coffee shop is the perfect place for it because it's calm and relaxed.
Unless there's only one table and 6 people waiting.
True, but usually it's a slow, easy place to sit and talk.
Some of my best conversations happened in coffee shops. Real deep talks.
There's something about holding a warm cup that makes people open up.
Emily, are you being poetic about coffee now?
Maybe, but it's true.
But you're right, Emily. You never have those deep conversations in a fast food place. It's always at a cafe with slow sips, warm lighting, and time to breathe.
Good word. Sip. To sip means to drink slowly in small amounts.
Not like drinking a big glass of water fast, more like gentle, slow sips.
Yeah, like she sipped her coffee while watching the rain. That image, that sounds nice.
Very relaxing, very peaceful, very different from me at 7 a.m. when I drink my coffee like it's medicine.
Not exactly sipping.
Not at all. More like survival mode. But Paul, I want to be honest about something.
Oh? What is it?
You know those really fancy lattes? The ones with caramel and cream and special flavors?
Yes.
Well, they're my guilty pleasure.
Your guilty pleasure? Wait, you just said you're a simple coffee person.
I am a simple coffee person. But sometimes on a bad day, I go to a cafe, find the sweetest, most ridiculous latte on the menu, and I enjoy every single sip.
So you're secretly a fancy coffee person.
No, I'm a simple coffee person with occasional weaknesses.
Sure, that's what they all say.
Okay, Mr. Cortado sounds cool. What about you? What's your guilty pleasure?
I think my guilty pleasure is ordering sweet drinks with lots of cream. I pretend they are for research, but really, I just like them.
I understand. We all have one. And honestly, guilty pleasures make life fun. A little sweet moment here and there. That sounds nice.
What about everyone listening? What's your guilty pleasure? Coffee or not? I'm curious.
Me too. Tell us in the comments. Okay, Paul, I want to do something fun.
Oh no. Every time you say that, I get scared.
Let's play a little game. I call it, What Does Your Coffee Say About You?
Here we go.
If you drink black coffee with nothing in it, you're probably a very direct, no-nonsense person.
I agree. Black coffee people are usually honest and efficient. Maybe a little scary.
If you drink a latte with oat milk, you probably do yoga and own at least one plant with a human name.
Like Gerald?
Yes, Gerald the plant. Why not?
Plant people always name their plants. It's a rule.
Okay, espresso people, the ones who drink a tiny, strong cup.
Those people are always busy, always in a hurry. They drink it in one shot and disappear like a coffee superhero.
Exactly. Fast drink, fast life.
And people who order sweet drinks with lots of cream?
They are fun people. They enjoy life. They don't care what anyone thinks. They just want happiness in a cup.
I accept that. That's me on Fridays.
Okay, before we move on, I want to do something helpful. Let's go through today's vocabulary very quickly. Not like a lesson, just a natural review.
Yes, a soft word tour. Words you already heard earlier in our conversation.
First, brew. To brew means to make coffee or tea with hot water.
Next, acquired taste. Something you don't like the first time, but you enjoy after trying it again. Black coffee is an acquired taste.
Sip. To sip means to drink slowly in small amounts.
Caffeine, the ingredient that makes you feel awake and alert.
Kick in. When the effect starts to work. The caffeine kicks in after 20 minutes.
Cut back on, to reduce something. I want to cut back on sugar.
Decaf. Coffee without caffeine.
Pick me up, something that gives you energy when you're tired.
Catch up. To meet someone and talk about what's new.
And finally, guilty pleasure, something you enjoy even though you feel a little bad about it.
Nice. A simple, smooth word tour. No pressure to memorize, just listen and let the words repeat naturally.
I do the same when I learn a new language. Soft repetition helps.
Same here. You know, Paul, the more we talk about coffee, the more I realize something. Coffee isn't really about coffee.
I understand. It's about everything around it. The moment, the atmosphere, the feeling.
Yes, and maybe that's why people love coffee culture so much. It gives you tiny pauses in your day, a moment to breathe, a moment to talk, a moment to just be human.
I do the same. Even when I'm busy, I enjoy that one quiet minute with my cup. It feels like a small reset.
A small reset. That sounds nice. And honestly, we need those tiny resets more than we think.
Speaking of resets, do you remember the time I tried to cut back on coffee?
I do. You lasted, what, 2 days?
2 long days. My head hurt, my mood was terrible, even my cat looked scared of me.
Your cat always looks scared of you.
That's not true. Okay, maybe a little true.
But you see, we all have different relationships with coffee. Some people can enjoy 1 cup calmly. Some people need it. Some people love the taste. Some people love the routine. And some people just love holding the warm cup.
That's me. Holding the cup is part of the experience.
Same. I'm a simple coffee person, but the feeling of holding a warm cup, I can't say no to that.
And that's why coffee shops are so special. You go for the drink, but you stay for the moment. The quiet music, the light, the smell, the slow atmosphere.
And the conversations. So many people catch up at cafes. Friends, couples, coworkers. You sit there, sip slowly, share life updates, and time feels softer.
Yes, some of my best conversations happened in coffee shops. Big dreams, hard questions, even silly stories. Everything feels easier when you have a warm cup in your hand.
And honestly, that's why today's topic matters. Because coffee vocabulary isn't just coffee vocabulary, it's daily life vocabulary. It helps you talk about routines, feelings, habits, meeting friends, social moments, all the things that make life real.
I understand. And listeners, when you talk about coffee in English, you're not just talking about a drink, you're talking about yourself, your taste, your routine, your mood, your lifestyle.
Exactly. And that's powerful for your English confidence. When you talk about something real, your English becomes natural.
So let's give everyone a quick practice moment. Something small, something light.
Okay, repeat after us. Softly, no pressure.
I like simple coffee.
I like fancy coffee.
Coffee is my morning pick-me-up.
I need a cup before the day starts.
I want to catch up over coffee.
That's it. Simple, short, real sentences you can use right away.
I do the same when I practice a new language. Small, real sentences help a lot.
Me too. And if you want, try saying them again later today. The more your mouth repeats them, the more natural they feel.
Okay, Emily, before we end, I have one last fun question for everyone.
Oh no, what is it this time?
What does your coffee say about you? Your black coffee, your latte, your espresso, your sweet drink with extra cream? What story does it tell?
I love that. So everyone listening, share your answer in the comments. I'm really curious. And don't worry, no judgment. Coffee people are all welcome here.
Yes, all welcome. Whether you drink 1 cup or 4 cups, whether you sip slowly or drink like a superhero.
And remember, the important thing isn't the coffee. It's the moment, the connection, the feeling you get.
And if this episode gave you a good moment today, feel free to support us with a like or a subscribe. Only if it feels right. Soft reminder.
Thank you for spending time with us, truly. We hope today's conversation helped you smile, relax, and feel more confident speaking English.
Stay warm, stay curious, and maybe enjoy a nice cup of coffee today.
We'll see you in the next episode.
See you soon.